Hey guys, we're gonna do a testosterone shot on my husband right here, and I thought we would kind of show what we're doing. Okay, so here's our 1 ml vial. This is a 1 dose usage. We have an alcohol pad, a syringe, and then 2 needles. Okay, so I'm just gonna kind of open everything so I have it ready, and I'm gonna lay it out. I already washed my hands. I think it's a little bit easier to show you guys this without gloves on, just because I have to pinch the back of his butt, so it makes it a little bit easier. These all have caps on them, so I don't need to worry about them getting non-sterile. I'm just gonna get this ready. This is the 22 gauge. It's a really thick needle, so it can pull all of the testosterone out. You leave the lid on, you twist it, and it just kind of is on there now. So now I can pull it off or, leave it on if I'm not using it. Okay, so this does have a little lid, and you just have to pop it off with your nail. The nice thing is it's like a weird suction rubber thing, and nothing is coming out of it. You lightly pull it off. Obviously, be careful. We are going for 1 ml. The bottle is 1 ml, but it also has a little bit more. So we're going to put it in there, and it's just like a rubber thing that it goes in. Okay, so the way our doctor showed us how to do this, you're just going to have the tip barely showing, and you're going to hold it kind of at an angle, and you're going to pull it down kind of past, whoops. It's weird because it feels like a suction, so you have to hold it in place with your right hand. So I kind of put my thumb on there to hold it, and it's slowly going to just start dripping into the needle because it does like a suction. So I'm just going to take it a little bit lower than the 1 ml. Hopefully you guys can see that, because in case there's an air bubble, when I switch this out, I can push the air bubble out before we give him the injection, which I can see the air bubble right there. Hope you guys can see that. Okay, so we're just going to take that out, and I actually heard the air get released. Okay, so now it's not doing a suction, and I just barely push the needle up and liquid comes out, and then the air kind of comes out. You can also hit it, but this isn't the one we're doing the injection with. So this is where you have to switch to the one you're going to do the injection with, which is the 27 gauge. Yeah, we're going to put the lid back on. And this is nice when there's 2 of you, because you kind of double check each other. So we're just going to snap it on. And now we're going to hold it straight up instead of at an angle. And I'm just going to twist it off. Okay, so you can see it's all the way to the top. I'm just going to twist this next one right on there. And I'm not mixing the needles because I just took the big one off. I have the thin one on here. So I don't need to take that off until I'm ready to use it. And then we're going to get his little spot ready. So I just want to show, this is where his elastic is. Obviously, all guys can be different, but if you bend over just a little bit on the table. So if you pull it down, you're basically going like almost where the elastic is. If you go too far down, that's where it can be painful. So I think we were saying like right here, right? That it didn't hurt last time. Okay, so and then our doctor told us it's kind of like you're not going in the center, you're going out a little bit. So we're going kind of where his elastic almost was. And then we're going to pinch a spot and put it in there. But before we do that, we're going to take our rubbing alcohol and we're going to prep this whole little area. Yeah, and we're going to let that dry. We're just going to pull the lid off. It's super long. This is where we just want to make sure there's no air. And because I went a little bit past the 1, the air had already popped out with the other needle. If you want, you can kind of push barely, and then you see it dripping out. So the air is all gone. I'm going to get this hand ready where I have my fingers on here, my thumb on here, and I'm not pushing anything. I'm going to get his skin and pinch it. We're going to first touch the area, and then we're going to lightly go in halfway with the needle. So that's almost like an inch, which is crazy. Once you have that in, you're going to slowly start pressing, and with a really consistent kind of pressure. The hardest part is not pushing the needle in the whole time while I'm pushing the back of the syringe in. So I have to keep kind of double checking that I'm not pushing the needle in further than it should be. And then my thumbs like pinching his skin. It's like my fingers are slipping. So I'm just trying to hold everything in place, trying to get it done. I'm just going consistent. The needle kind of comes out a little bit more than I would like, but I'm at a weird angle recording this. Okay, so I'm just pulling it out. You can see my finger started slipping and got closer and closer. So it's like you want to get a good grab on that. What's nice is that there's no blood, so I didn't hit a vein or anything. Okay, so we're just coming back over here. I set it down, and I'm just going to put the cap back on so nobody gets pricked. I'm going to twist it off. Both needles go in our bag. So we're just going to put these in here. That way we make sure they're not left in our house. Nobody can grab them. You can put them in a jar. You can put them in a bag. And then when you go to like Rite Aid or CVS, they have a drop area. And then you can just drop that in there with all the needles. So now this is empty. You can just take all this, throw this all away. Okay, so I hope that made sense. It's a little bit hard to record and do it. I was super scared to have to give him a shot. So we did do it the first time at our doctor's office. And then it's only once a week. So 7 days later, I had written notes down at the doctor's, but I just felt really nervous about it because I don't like needles. But that didn't even hurt, right?
Nope.
Yeah, so there you go. Okay, guys, so that is how we do our testosterone shot for my husband. We're not professionals, we're not doctors, we're not nurses. They just kind of showed us how to do it, and they were like, here's your bag of supplies. So I hope that helps for anyone else who kind of was in the situation we were, where we had to start doing this. I think that was the 6th shot I've given, and every week I feel a little bit better about it. So obviously when you're not talking or recording, it's a little bit easier and you're, being more careful. But as I'm doing it every time, it's just nice having my husband there because he's like, oh, take this off. Or if I'm forgetting anything, it does help having 2 of us. But yeah, so hopefully if you have to start doing testosterone shots, you have someone there who can do them for you, because it is a lot easier for me to do it than him having to try to pinch and to do it in his butt. I know there are people that can do that. And then normally the other way is in your thigh. But we were watching videos on that and you have to like stab your leg. And so it just looks so scary. So this is the best way we are doing it for him. Again, hope that helps anyone who is looking this up.